Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the Property and Investor Podcast. You'll notice that this is a different set of podcasts. We're doing a mini series of podcasts called the Inner Circle All Stars. These are people who I've had the great pleasure of working with for the last 12 months, and Carol is definitely one of those. Carol, warm welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. It's lovely to see you and see you looking so well as always. So for those that don't know you, just give a brief introduction, your name, your business, and a little bit of your background.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Carol Clarke, and I'm a chartered town planner. My main business is Grammall Town Planning, and I also invest in property. But also my other main job is as a mum to two amazing boys.
Very good. And we've had well, it's certainly been my pleasure to spend a year with you on Inner Circle. So tell us a little bit about where you were at the beginning of Inner Circle, so the beginning of 2025.
I think in a nutshell, and in one word, busy. And very, very lucky to be very busy. I guess it's a bit of a double-edged sword with my line of work that my services are required to landowners and developers to help them navigate the planning system. However, yeah, there was a constant focus on serving my wonderful clients
Mhm.
and not being able to progress, whether it be my own property investment goals and or my other asset creation goals. And
Mhm.
indeed, the realization, I think, that I wasn't prioritizing myself. So,
Mhm.
yeah, um, that's about it.
Yeah. So in terms of these challenges, overly busy by the sounds of it, and perhaps putting kind of the business before the human, maybe.
Yes, certainly. Yeah.
And so how have things evolved over the last 12 months?
So the inner circle was recommended to me by another contact.
Mhm.
And so I joined your January breakfast session and thought it was something that was for me in
Mhm.
terms of what I needed. I've done other masterminds before, but they've been sort of bigger ones with maybe 60, 70, 80 people. And
Yeah.
I've got loads out of that. But what I was looking for in 2025 was a smaller mastermind group whereby I could get to know people and they could get to know me. And you don't have to then keep repeating yourself and what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Mhm.
And so by nature, or just always want to help people. I find it very difficult to say no. So lots of the book recommendations we did have during the year were fantastic for that. But yeah, I guess those were the main aspects really. That I was looking for a smaller mastermind, and
Yeah.
the mastermind there was 10 of us,
Mhm.
plus yourself, fit perfectly on what I was looking for.
Yeah, and that definitely makes sense. I mean, I've definitely myself done, you know, several like really big masterminds, where there's the music, there's the dry ice, there's all of that, and they have their place, and they're a lot of fun, and if that's where a person's at, that's definitely where to head towards. This obviously is not that. This is much more intimate, human to human, kind of spending time together and really getting to know each other during the process. So we've, I think, been on a very similar journey in that respect. So what did you get out of the year? I mean, you've had a brilliant year. I mean, it's been obvious to all of us on so many different levels, but give us some of the highlights. Like what's happened?
Yeah, I think well, you just have an incredible ability of bringing a wonderful mix of people together. And I don't know how you select people for the mastermind, but there was such a wonderful mix of people on our 2025 Inner Circle Mastermind year. And people, whilst part emphasis on property businesses, everybody had other kind of businesses and business interests as well. Some people had families and children, some people didn't. And so that was one of the key things that I hadn't appreciated. I just kind of assumed it would be all property people and everybody would have property aspirations and goals, and it was not that at all. And it was really quite enlightening to get feedback on queries and concerns and concepts and things that I was dealing with throughout the year from the other inner circlers because of their different backgrounds.
Mhm.
Um, and your inner circle golden nuggets, the online meetups and also the in-person meetups. The focus on health was really interesting. You, at the beginning of the year, asked us to set 3 personal goals and 3 business goals, and I wasn't expecting those 3 personal goals. So that gave me, I guess, the green light to focus on myself that I had always put off of just being so busy and needing to focus on the business and focus on my children and so on. So that was a real highlight as well, that it's okay. And actually it's really important to focus on yourself as well. So and as a result of lots of the nuggets that you shared in your sessions, yeah, I've got much more morning structure. I love my mornings anyway. I get a lot done, but instead of just focusing on business, I'm actually focusing on mindset and my goals first, which has been quite a revelation as well. So, yeah, very much for your contributions, your guidance, very much the mix of people that you put together, and the ability and acceptance to be able to focus on our own uh, personal health aspirations and goals, as well as focusing on business.
Oh, well, obviously a thrill for me to hear. And you would have heard me say in the past, like I I do think it is really important to focus on the whole human. And I come from that from the point of view of I haven't always successfully done that. And that's why I think it's so important, is to look after our health and our well-being so that, we can, I suppose, be of service in all the different facets of our life, like to our clients, but also to our families, to our communities, and above all ourselves, to be the best that we can. So that's lovely, and it's obviously been amazing to see, your progress on all fronts. So if somebody was thinking about Inner Circle, what kind of thoughts or comments or observations would you give them about that if they were thinking about exploring it a bit further?
Um, well, I would say don't hesitate. It's a fabulous inner circle to be part of. Great contributions from yourself, really enlightening about, whilst it's property and investing, it's actually you've really highlighted the importance of looking at other assets,
Mhm.
and that has been reassuring for myself this year, that actually with professional goals and business goals, I was on the right path and I'm
Mhm.
still on the right path. Um, and so, yeah, I would say to anybody, have a chat with you, see if it's the right fit, but they will get an awful lot out of it.
Thrilling to hear. And what does the future look like for you?
So the future's looking great. I'm still busy, but that obviously I'm pleased with. But yeah, the future's good. I've got my goals set for this year. But also I think having focused on the personal health side, it's really set me up for the next year, for 2026. And given me a lot more confidence, having lost lots of weight, feeling so much better, given me lots of confidence to do other things that perhaps I was holding back on for no reason really. And so yes, 2026 for me is going to be complete the bridges. So 2025 was very much, I have started forming my structures on either side, and I just need to close that bridge now. So the book is around 50% written. The courses have been started. but I deviated, as you know, to the ascarol.ai permitted development rights app. So that's also in hand. And so it's about completing those bridges and those projects this year.
Fantastic. And I love that, I love pithy titles to plans and missions and everything. That is absolutely amazing. I mean, Carol, you are a true, genuine expert in your field. There's no doubt about that. Not only are you a fabulous human, but you are one of the highest performers really I've come across, your energy, your enthusiasm for your work, your ability to execute as well is really hugely impressive. So I think if anybody's listening to this podcast who wants to explore, seeking Carol out, working with her in a professional capacity, I would highly recommend you do that. You're dealing with a true high performer here. So Carol, any final words to add? Where would you like me to send people in particular?
Well, for any town planning matters,
Hmm.
I obviously love helping and directing investors and developers to help them navigate the planning system. So you can go to my website, bramhalltownplanning.com. Contact details are on there, or I'm on LinkedIn. So you'll find me, Carol Clarke, Clarke with an E, on LinkedIn. But if anybody is interested, we are at the early stage of development of ascarol.ai, which is a permitted development rights app specifically to help property investors and developers when you're looking at sites to get the right answers as to whether you can actually convert a building using permitted development rights. And of course, it's intertwined with 20 years of wisdom from me. So I would encourage anybody to sign up to the waiting list at askcarol.ai and you'll be the first to test it out.
Amazing. Well, I've done that already, and I will put all of that in the show notes. People can seek you out and explore the AI model when it's released.
Thank you.
Carol, so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much for this. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Thanks for a great year together as well. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for this year as well. Thank you.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Seek out Carol, and thanks very much for looking at the podcast. Take care. Speak soon.